Broadcaster, tour guide, and lover of foods has combined his passions to create the food legends and icons of the Palmetto State. Chuck D'Imperio is here. Thanks so much for kind of staying with us here on the Midday News.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Always fun to talk about food.
Oh, we love food here on Midday. And I know you set out to explore South Carolinians' kind of favorite foods that were born here. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it's true. This food poster that we've put out is the second in a series. We did a New York one. It was very successful. And so we're exploring the foods of South Carolina, where I live. And it's very interesting. So we came up with 25 different foods. Obviously, there's 100 of them. But we came up with 25 different foods that were either born in South Carolina, are regionally popular in South Carolina, or have very, very interesting backstories to them. And I commissioned an artist from London, England. Her name is Julia Gash. She does a great job. She's never done a food map before. She's done 500 posters, but never done, and she had a ball with this. She had a ball with this. So the poster shows you the foods, tells you where the locations are. Now, not all of these places were born, and they're not in the right place on the map. For example, who can say where barbecue was born?
Right.
I mean, you'd have a map with 10,000 places in it in South Carolina alone. So we found a place. It represents all of the great barbecue places. Actually, it's Bobby's down in Fountain Inn. Fantastic spot. All of them are great, though. We've also put a lot of these places on the poster where there's a festival to them.
Oh, yeah.
Where there is a festival to them. For example, we have to talk about pecans. Pecans are huge in South Carolina, as you know, but where am I going to put it?
Right.
Pecans actually started coming out of Galveston, Texas, across the Gulf of Mexico into South Carolina in the late 1800s, but it was Florence, South Carolina, that got the location for the pecans. Why? Because they have the annual Pecan Festival in Florence. Pecan Music Food Festival, 50,000 people pour into Florence every year in November. It's just a lot of fun. And so that's why we put some of these food items on the map where they have a festival to them.
And I can already see, too, we have to talk about peaches, and I can see that we have the Gaffney kind of peach tower there.
Well, yeah.
People always think of Georgia, but it's South Carolina.
Absolutely true. And, of course, it's maybe the most iconic food icon, if you will, is that gigantic peach toad, that's the official name, the peach toad. And it is on I-85 at the Gaffney exit. It is an amazing item for sure. 1984 it went up, took 5 months to build, cost $1 million, and it holds 1 million gallons of water. And as you've seen it, as everybody has seen it, it looks just like a peach. The interesting thing about that is that in the very first episode of the hit TV show House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, it was featured.
Yeah.
And once that was featured, people started pouring down there to see the gigantic peach. Now there's a little park around the bottom with picnic tables and there's signage and all that. It's just wonderful. And of course, when you get to Georgia, it says, "Welcome to the Peach State." Georgia has peaches on the license plate, but we do 3 times as many peaches as Georgia.
We know the truth here in South Carolina. No, this is kind of a tasty piece of art, and I know we are going to link where we can get our own version of this map on foxcarolina.com under the As Seen On section. But of course, Chuck, thank you so much for stopping in.
My pleasure.